Alright guys, today we're looking at the Hasegawa Stuart M3 or M3 Stuart Mark 1 light tank as it's described here in the boxing. As you can see there, it depicts a tank in what looks like the Pacific Theatre with American markings, some sort of a oil drum or fuel tank or something on the side of it, and a crewman poking his head out. You can see there's a 30 cal machine gun there and a 37mm gun in the front with the coaxial machine gun there as well. Looks a little bit kind of jungly in the background there as well. And you can see in the rear there it seems to be an M4 Sherman. So nice little artwork there in fairness. I don't know who does the work for Hasegawa did back in the day. This is from my stash from the attic. This is one I bought many years ago. The name on the box, it looks like oh, it's a Polish name or a Russian sounding name anyway. I won't even try to pronounce it. It's down there in the bottom right hand corner. Anyway, nice little bit of artwork. The kit itself is fairly straightforward. It's a nice little kit. I've made up 2 out of 3 for rapid fire purposes. The tank itself basically was there was about 6,000 of them built. A lot of them went to the Soviet Union and the British forces. They were kind of commonly known as Stuarts and unofficially supposedly known as the Honey tank, but I've other than kind of anecdotal kind of stuff, I've never really seen anything that really clarified that. They were reliable and quite mobile. Against the kind of first saw service in the deserts of North Africa with the British. Did okay against the lighter tanks of the German army, such as the Panzer II and maybe even the Panzer III, but anything above that, they would have struggled. I mean, it is a light tank, and that is only a 37mm gun, which of course was standard tank armament at the start of the Second World War. But of course, by the end of the war, I mean, it was relegated to a pea shooter, really. Comparison to some of the things the Germans were putting out there. So it was really obsolete as a combat tank by 1944, and many were converted to command and reconnaissance vehicles, turrets were removed and other machine guns added, and there was various variants such as mine clearing and anti-aircraft versions and flamethrowers and howitzers and all sorts of things. But basically this kit here just has the very basic version of the tank itself. So let's have a look at it. The instructions I have actually taken out of the box already, so straightforward. Standard sort of Hasegawa kit. It comes with a chap on a horse, sort of I suppose American base camp training sort of scenario there. I won't be dealing with the horse because I won't be requiring it. The instructions themselves. Let's have a look here. As I say, it's a small tank, so it's not going to be particularly complicated. Not that many pieces in it, goes together easily enough. It's vinyl tracks, as you can see there, and the set of instructions here. A few little bits and pieces to go onto the hull and superstructure turret. Crewman there goes into the top. I won't be using those. I think I might use one actually because I've painted them up, but I haven't got them here at the moment. The paints that they recommend. Not quite sure who they're recommending. I think it's those Sangoyo Hobby Color or whatever they're called. I've never actually used those. Again, it's a Humbrol I use, so I've just given them kind of a dark green there. I'll show you in a moment. That's basically instructions there, and that's fairly basic. Gives you a couple of schemes at the back there. One for British service there on the left, and one for American on the right. There you go. It gives you a picture of the sprue there as well, all the bits and pieces. And there's the front cover again. So that's that, fairly straightforward. So let's have a look at the contents of the box. This kit, as I say, I've actually started already. The sprue here, this is the base of the turret, which joins to the hull, as you can see, a little spigot there. I've taken out the crewman, that's what's missing here on that particular sprue. And here, you can see, there's the horse, which hasn't been painted. And I've just given it a quick lash of the old green prior to assembly. I find with smaller vehicles like that, it's kind of a little bit handy just to do that, and then you can kind of fill in any spots and go over it again, give it a second coat if you so wish. Very straightforward, as you can see. Nice and cheap and cheerful. Not a problem there. So the other sprue then. See the remaining pieces of the hull, some of the road wheels and that there again, 30 cal machine gun. That's the 37mm there. lights and bits and pieces. I've just kind of undercoated stuff there, given a quick first coat of things, just to patch it in then when it's all set together. And then we have the vinyl tracks. Just give them kind of a quick undercoat there with that, and I'll give them a kind of a dark grey shortly once I have them assembled. So that's that, very straightforward. I like the old vinyl tracks, in fairness. I think you can kind of mould them better to the wheels. Never like the individual track lengths or track pieces, particularly on smaller kits. I've done a few. It was an SC or SKI Hetzer. I did a pair of those many years ago, and closest to a nervous breakdown I've ever come. Tiny pieces, very difficult, I found, with my big awkward fingers, trying to navigate with tweezers into those little small areas. So that's that. Nice thing about it, top loader box, as you can see, I've done some work with it in the box there, so there's all the paint spatters and the usual detritus that goes with that. The decals, just to show you there, nice bright decals actually, or decals, whichever way you want to pronounce that. You can see there, that little thing there's actually an American star. I don't know if it'll come out so well on camera, but it has a 1-1 or 1-6. I'm not quite sure what that is. It might be just a regimental designation or that. American stars and stripes there, stars and bars, whatever you want to call it. Some unit markings, USA, all the rest of it. The white isn't coming out quite there so well on camera, I don't think, but kind of a desert rats, obviously for British service, and a few other bits and pieces there, made in Japan, of course, because it's Hasegawa. So that's that, very basic, it's very straightforward. That'll go together handily. The units I've put together myself here, or partially anyway. There's two of the three which will be getting used for rapid fire purposes. As you can see, they're not complete yet, paint wise. I'm doing one with the hatches open, so that will be added in there after a little bit of painting. And again, the tracks have to be done. One of them split there on me, unfortunately, because these have been in the attic for about 10 years, more. So that's the one thing to be careful of with vinyl tracks, is that they can split. I have heard of people keeping them in water for months and months and years. Not quite sure I'd go to that extreme, but if it works, it works. I can't fault it. I've never done it, but as I say, I've heard good things. So they're a nice little kit. They look quite well, very good representation of the tank itself. I will be putting a little bit of stowage on some of those to sort of just give a kind of a more late war sort of reconnaissance vehicle sort of a feel, maybe with a camouflage netting or something. I haven't quite decided yet, but that's basically those guys there, as you can see them. Turrets movable, of course, as usual in a scenario like that. Nice little tank, go together handily enough. Needs another little lick of paint there, and be ready for the decals, and off we go. The one that has to be assembled yet, as I say, I will be having the crew member sticking out of the turret. I don't normally do that, or at least not very often, but I just kind of like the sculpt on it. It's not too bad. It's actually drying at the moment, so I won't show it to you now because I'll have to handle it. But it's the legs are already trimmed from the manufacturer. It's not a full length body. It just slots in there quite well, so I reckon it'll look the part. In fairness to it, so that's it. That's basically the little models there. Very straightforward, as I say. Nice little kit by Hasegawa. Not sure if this is still in production, but I've had a quick look on eBay before sitting down to do this quick review, and a few other sites, and they seem to be readily available here and there. Kind of retailing these days anywhere between about £10 sterling, which is about 11 or 12 euros. I'm not sure what that is in dollars. Up to about £20 sterling, depending on where you're getting them from. Of course, obviously you have to factor in postage as well if you're ordering online. I'm not sure if your local model store will have this in stock at the minute, because I'm kind of unsure whether it's in production. But a lovely little kit. If you're looking for kind of a nice little detail, kit for wargaming or for diorama or just general modelling, you couldn't go wrong with the Hasegawa M3 Stuart. In fairness to it, it's a good little kit, and that's basically it. It's a nice straightforward little piece, so I'm looking forward to finishing them off, getting the decals on and getting them into my rapid fire American tank battalion. So I'll leave you with the with that, and we'll be along with another review fairly soon, guys. Take care, all the best.